All right, let's take a look at the Bay of Islands in New Zealand. It's in the north part of the island, as you can see right there. To put it in a bit more of a perspective, this is New Zealand. You'll see Auckland at the top, and where it says Wangari, that is roughly where the Bay of Islands is. So this is a tender port for a cruise ship. You can see the ship at the top there. It gives you a rough map there of where you would go when you come in. So you come in on the tender, you follow that red line to the center of the town, and from there you can order various shore excursions if you haven't got one on the ship. And as always, you'll get a tender pass on the ship if you don't have a shore excursion booked with them. Make sure you get one so you can get off as early as possible. It was a fairly long tender. We were on a lifeboat coming in, so here we are on the tender coming into the port. It was a beautiful morning, but we did get some rain later in the day. So here we are getting off of the tender. There you go. It's the lifeboat, like I said. And it started to rain already. So yeah, it was a nice come over on the tender, I guess. I forgot it started raining quite so early. And when we went to get back on later on, it was raining constantly and we were out in the rain. So it was a bit of a miserable day weather-wise, but hey, we were still on a cruise in a beautiful venue, on a beautiful place. So you go to this Waitangi Pier. And then they had shuttle buses to take you into town. Obviously, if you had excursions, they would direct you where to go for that. Welcome to Paihia. I guess that's another one of the names for it. So here we are in the center. Now we had a tour book for a food tour, but they cancelled it last minute. So we kind of went in on a whim, trying to decide what to do. We ended up going to the glowworm place, and I'll tell you, it may not have been the best idea we ever had, because number one, they won't let you take video, obviously, but you go quite a ways, and we waited in line for quite a while to go in, and the glowworms are basically green dots on the ceiling. So if that's your thing, that's your thing. But I'm kind of disappointed that we went to it. And then we went to see a waterfall that I'll show you that was quite nice. But overall, we didn't do the best tour. We probably should have just gone ashore, walked around the town, maybe done a little boat ride or something, and then gone back. There wasn't a huge amount to do here, I will say that. But here's an area where people were getting off the bus trying to do local tours. And there were plenty of different tours you could do. If you like diving and stuff like that, there was plenty of those. But we're not really divers or scuba people. They have a thing called the Hole in the Rock that you could go to see. So there are some nice little boat rides. We would, with hindsight, we probably would have done one of these. I was trying to fight the crowds to get the pictures. But yeah, so when you get off the bus, there are plenty of tour places. This was not the only one. I'll show you another one in a second. So there's plenty of places you go skydiving if you're brave enough. But you had a whole lot of people coming ashore trying to find excursions. So just be patient. And like I said, everybody went straight to these places here. But if you went across the street, there were other shore excursion places that were basically no line whatsoever. There's nobody waiting. So that might be the better way to go. And they're basically offering the same tours. So again, you can come in here, tourist information or visitor information booth right there. And inside here on the right, you could have booked tours as well. There are plenty of places to book tours. And then they had a little jetty to a small kind of, I guess, pier type of thing at the end here. Good photo op that I brilliantly blocked with that pole. A couple of restaurants. We were here really early in the morning. We left fairly early in the afternoon, so most things were closed at this point, apart from obviously the tourist places. So this is actually where our tour picked us up, where these green chairs are. And you can look to the left, you'll see, and I'm going to show you a closer up video of that in a moment. They did have like a street market on this day. I'm not sure what days that was on, but that was right there. And there's really just one kind of main drag. There's a couple of little offshoots to it. I'll take you down to show you what is in the town area. Just right down there where everybody's walking. I'll take you down there in a second Just panning back one more time. So again, this is where the bus would drop you off and pick you up to take you back. Now this is on the opposite side of the street. So we've just crossed over the street, and you see right there, there's an empty tourist place. Maybe one person asking a question, but they just walked up right before I started filming. So there was a few places on this side that had no line. But there's various shops up and down here you could go into. And if you cut down little side streets, there was more. But probably if you didn't have an excursion booked, book a local one. Not a great deal to do walking around the town area. So you can see we're just walking down here. You know, you can walk down the little inlets, and there's a few more shops here and there. But these are mostly just tourist shops. And it's not overly cheap. But it was a little bit pricey. When we went over to the street fair, that was quite pricey as well. This was actually the last cruise of the season that was coming into New Zealand. So this was April the 1st to 11th was this cruise. We came in from Sydney. So I guess their tourist season is quite short. So it's kind of like Alaska in a way, where they got to make the money while they can. There's a fire station just down there as well. So we got to go just a little bit further until you get to the end here. Now there was one quite well-known sandwich place at the end that is worth a visit, but it's down here on the right. See, most of the shops are closed right now because it's fairly early. Yes, this is the place. This is, they were open right now. When we came back after our tour, the line was out of the door. But this is a very well-known breakfast place they have there. It's about knowing where it is. Some very cool pastries and stuff in there. We did get one later on, and they were as advertised. Very, very good. And a little market shop in there. That's about the end of it. So we'll walk back up to the front, and I'll show you in a little while that little street market. Again, you can see it dried up. It rained, it stopped, it rained, it stopped all day, and I don't know if that was typical for this time of year. But it was not terrible, apart from when we were waiting to get the shuttle back afterwards. That was a little bit annoying standing in the rain. And again, if you went down there to the left, there's some more shops down a little alleyway that you could go to. Just down there, past that building we're just passing now, you would take a right. A few more stores, a few more restaurants in there. So again, this is just the main drag. I do recommend doing the tours. Look at the choices you have. Again, we don't ever book through the ship, so we always book locally. A lot of people aren't comfortable with that, and that's absolutely fine. We just make sure we have enough time and enough of a gap in case there's an issue, that we would be back at least 2 hours before the ship sails, so we never have a problem. And the islet, the area is not that big that you would have a problem. There's a pharmacy right there. So we're going to pop in now and show you the street market real quick. It's just through here. And again, I'm not sure what days it's here. I do know they knew the weather was coming in later that day, and they were planning on closing early because we were talking to some of the vendors. So we should have known it was going to rain when we got the shuttle back. Yep, it's just stores like this around there. Some art. A lot of art and crafts. the majority of things that we saw. A lot of locally made items. And again, don't expect it to be cheap. I wouldn't say it's expensive, but it certainly wasn't on the cheap side. There was no like 2 for $1 things, let's put it that way. And if you remember, this was directly across the street from where the bus dropped us off. So there you go. That was that. New Zealanders are very nice, very friendly. So there was a map of the area with all the different, so obviously diving, scuba diving and what have you, and snorkeling would be a lot of fun around here on maybe better weather days than we had, but plenty of spots to go. And we were on our little tour here. I'll show you a couple of things of us walking through. I didn't get any video of the glowworms because they specifically banned any video because you can't video the glowworms because of the light. But like I said earlier, I probably wouldn't recommend it unless you want to wait half an hour to go and look at some green dots on the roof in the pitch black. That is when you stop. When you walk, they have a flashlight, but then they stop it to see the glowworm. So if you are scared of the dark, do not do it. So we're just coming back through town after our tour, and we are back where they picked us up, which is where I showed you in the very, very beginning. But we went past because we were going to a waterfall. And I'm not going to say the waterfall was disappointing, but maybe it was a little bit. So it was nice to go ashore. Let's put it that way. It was nice to walk around a town and see a new place. But I cannot say this would be a bucket list place I would recommend. I was a bit disappointed they cancelled the food tour. We were really looking forward to that. Try some of the local stuff. But like I said, they cancelled it like 2 weeks before we left. I don't know why. But they did. So this is showing you some of the sights driving. So it's beautiful. I can imagine on a nice sunny day just how beautiful this would be. Nice beaches. But yeah, you can tell I was looking for a film to put on this video because I'm showing you all of this. I could have probably made this like a 5-minute video, but I figured for fun, I would show you the drive that we had. So here we are at the waterfall. It was actually Haruru Falls, and yeah, that was it. I mean, it's nice, don't get me wrong. But that was the waterfall. There's a picture of us at the waterfall. I'll show you a few pictures of the day, and then we'll wrap this up. And I'll show you a little time lapse of us leaving the port as you enjoy, hopefully, some of these pictures. What was a beautiful island, don't get me wrong, a beautiful area. There's the fire station. There's Tim, our friend for the glowworms. We had those little lights we could have on at times. One more picture of the waterfall. There's the ship. We stopped and got a scenic view of the bay. And there we all are at the glowworms again before I shaved my beard off. So yeah, just a few pictures of our day at the Bay of Islands. Again, a nice island. Don't. It sounds like I'm bashing it. I'm really not. But just to finish you on, I'll show you a little time lapse of us leaving. Any questions? Email me anytime. cruisingsuitguy@gmail.com. I promise I'll reply as soon as possible. Want to book a cruise or any type of travel?
We are travel agents. Check out our site, elitetravelconnection.com, or email me, mick@elitetravelconnection.com. We are here for you. Finally, subscribe, please. Pretty please. You know you want to. Go on. I won't beg you. Okay, I'm begging. Please. Subscribe! Thank you.